What's up? It's Marco back on the Stage Soccer channel. And today I want to talk about players leaving America and where the best place for them to go is. I think we all love seeing them go to big clubs like Chelsea, Dortmund, but there's a lot of hesitancy over that as well. Because with the Champions League games and the reputation comes issues of playing time and the possibility of going out on loan. So I just wanted to talk about the positives and negatives of going to a big club and a smaller club at the same time. So the benefits of going to a big club is pretty clear. I mean, you're playing at the highest level and it means you'll get better quickly. I mean, playing in the Champions League, that can do wonders for you. And also that level of training and practice when you're playing with elite players all the time. And also the coaching can be great. I mean, obviously there are different examples, but in general, you get great coaches at big teams. On the downside, as I mentioned before, playing time can be tough and you can find yourself out on loan. And if you're constantly going out on loan to worse teams, you might as well not even be there. You're not getting that reputation boost and you're not playing at that level. At a smaller club, there are more opportunities and you can develop quicker. I mean, it's easier to play when you don't have world-class internationals in front of you. And when you do play, it'll probably be a lot bigger because at the start in the Premier League, you'll be playing garbage time minutes, dead rubber Champions League games, or cup matches. But if you're at a team like, say, Crystal Palace, every single game you play is going to matter. Like, every point will matter. But at the same time, that can make it harder to play. Because if you're a young player and you're just about as good as another guy at a big club, they'll probably play you because they can see the value and the potential, and they can afford to maybe not be at the 100%. But if you're at a team like Crystal Palace or Burnley where every single point matters, and one result could be the difference between the manager losing their job and the club staying up or going down, you're not going to get that opportunity. If you're slightly worse than a player ahead of you, even if you're younger, even if you have a way higher ceiling, they have to think in the short term and you won't be able to play. So yeah, those are some benefits and negatives of going to a bigger club or a smaller club. And obviously it's case by case on what you should do, and in general, attacking players rotate a lot more, so you can probably go to a bigger club, while defenders and keepers, you should probably go somewhere where first team games are definitely available. And there are examples of both working for the national team. I mean, Pulisic and Reina both found success at Dortmund, and you say they're good at developing players, but every big club's good at developing players. Like, I remember everybody saying Chelsea and City always buy all their players. Well, Reece James, Mason Mount, Phil Foden, like, players develop. And Weston McKinnie, he went to Schalke when they were a Champions League team. Tyler Adams has done well for RB Leipzig. Dest has done great at Ajax and Barcelona. And then, at the other hand, there are people who do well at smaller clubs. I mean, Antonee Robinson went from Everton to Wigan to get playing time, and he quickly moved up to the divisions and got into the national team. John Brooks started out at Hertha Berlin, got to Wolfsburg, and Jordan Siebatcheu has found great success in the Swiss League. I did want to mention for those players, they're all born in Europe. Like, John Brooks is German, so maybe that has a part to do with that, but I just wanted to mention that. Then on the other hand, you got guys who didn't work out at clubs. I mean, Matt Miazga, he kind of stalled out at Chelsea. He probably could have developed a lot more. Eric Palmer-Brown, just constantly getting loaned out at Man City. DeAndre Yedlin, he was one of our brightest talents, and he kind of just stalled out at Tottenham. They're all very promising players who maybe didn't have the ability needed at that level at the time, but they didn't get the chance to develop those skills in games at the highest level. Then you got guys like Ethan Horvath and Christian Pulisic who probably didn't play at a level high enough and didn't develop as far as they could have. I mean, Christian's still young, but Ethan Horvath, he really could have been playing at a higher level and playing a lot more consistently, and really just didn't. I think, though, when you look at the top players of the national team, they've all been players who went to big clubs and were successful. I mean, Pulisic has done well at Dortmund and Chelsea, McKinnie at Schalke, Juventus, Adams Leipzig. I mentioned all of them before, but they've all done well at big clubs. You could say, oh, those are just our best players. Of course they're going to succeed. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point. I mean, sports cream tends to rise to the top. I mean, if you're a really great player, it's going to show through. Think of someone like Lukaku. He went to Everton. He didn't do great at United because the system didn't really work for him. He's still a great player, and we all know it. And while it is possible to ruin a player, it almost takes effort. I mean, think about Matt Miazga. He's been out on loan for half a decade, and he's linked with a move to La Liga. That's a very good team, and he hasn't been playing consistently all the time. He should be just done, but it's working out for him. So if someone's good enough, they'll play. Like, when you're looking at guys like Brendan Aronson, Mark McKenzie, Reggie Cannon, all coming over, and you're wondering, man, are they good enough? I don't know if these clubs are the best for them. Well, the clubs want the best for them too, and the clubs want the best for themselves. So if they're good enough, they're going to find opportunities. So for player moves, I'd say the only real thing to avoid is going somewhere where you obviously won't play. Like, don't go to, if you're an attacker, don't go to PSG right now. And, don't go somewhere where you're, like, they're way beneath your level. Like, I don't know, let's say Red Bull buys MK Dons in League One. Like, don't drop to that level. But, like, if you're going abroad somewhere and you're good enough, you're going to make it. Like, the greats tend to find a way to succeed. And I was looking at Michael Jordan's career, and it's like a miracle that he turned into the GOAT. Like, he was cut by his high school team. He went to North Carolina for 3 years, where he had to play in a team offense that was, like, so limiting to him. There was a game in the NCAA tournament against James Madison where he only scored 6. Then he went to one of the worst franchises in the NBA, but things still work out. I mean, truth is, with most of these players, it comes down to their ability and their drive and their talent. It comes down to that to succeed. I mean, like, look at Freddie Adu. I mean, by all accounts, he did the right thing. He left the MLS and he went to Benfica. That's a club known for developing players. And when that didn't work out, he went to Monaco. And he still didn't make it. Like, he made the right choice and it didn't help. Christian Pulisic, he went to Chelsea. That's a big club. And the manager who brought him in left. It still worked out for him. He's starting. He played in the Champions League final. He won it. If you're good enough and you're driven enough, things will work out for these players. So, is it a good idea to go to the big clubs? Hey, you got to know yourself. You have to bet on yourself. And with our national team getting even better, it's going to take making that move to get the best out of yourself to succeed. So, hey, obviously case by case, but in general, yeah, I think it's a good thing for players to move to big clubs. Yeah, that's all I've talked about. I'll see you.